Okay, maybe I'm not Richie from Boston. I'm Ebon from Somerville, soon to be Ebon from Columbus. Not Columbus, Ohio, but Columbus, Nebraska. I figured I haven't really done anything in a while. Not that this is much. I thought I'd at least show a little bit of Nebraska and what I know about Nebraska. What I'm doing, what I've been doing. I went on James's show last night for a little while, talked about some moon stuff. Hey Eric, how's it going? And the Wi-Fi in the place that my family's staying at while I'm working on a house went out. So right now I've got probably 6 more days. I'm leaving on Sunday. So doing a lot of it that's do-it-yourself type of stuff. I wish I had more stuff and internet access just so I could show exactly what I'm doing. And of course all the stuff that I'm doing is just I've never done before. Learning on as I go, but it's also cheaper than having other people do it. For example, I wish I would have gotten the moving truck, packed everything myself, and moved over. Eric, well, Nebraska is cold and it's empty. I'm going to show the screen pretty much later. Actually, I'll do that now. If I can learn to switch, here we go. So here, as you can see, this is Nebraska. A lot of agribusiness. I wish I had better. I need to get something where I could just put it on the stand so people can just watch while I'm driving. It's pretty sparse. You see a lot of land, especially once you get over to Monroe, Columbus, and a couple of other places. You won't see a lot of trees. Of course, it's winter time. Plus, there's a lot of clouds, so it looks pretty dark and dreary. So the move estimate for the packing and the transport was $2,500. It ended up being $8,300. Yeah, crazy. I should have just done it myself like I wanted to. But if I did that, I couldn't do stuff, like fly over here and work on stuff, which is pretty much painting. I replaced the locks and the doors. Today it's mostly cleaning the furnace and the grates and some of the stuff off the floor, picking up all the floorboards. So my wife wanted the floor done with floorboards, but that would have cost like $7 grand, and so instead I ended up wanting to do it. This is a little bit easier for now. There's nothing to see. So there's that. So most of today was supposed to be picking up the floorboards because they have to wait and acclimate within the places within the house. So alright, so that was a little weird. So $4,000 in material. The connection's pretty bad. I don't know what it is. Oh, check that out. Yeah, you'll see a lot of this stuff driving through Nebraska. A lot of religious stuff. So with the materials, we're saving $3 grand for doing it ourselves. It's definitely worth it. But then it's just me doing it. Yeah, I know, Titus. The movers get everyone. And that's the thing. More people are going to be wanting to do it themselves. And then the people who don't, because the people who should be actually having a decent rate to losing customers because raising their people. Alright, so I've got the flooring which I won't start until Wednesday, so the floorboards get acclimated. In the meantime, for today and a little bit of tomorrow, I'm going to be cleaning. Oh man, it's horrible. There's one room we call it nicotine yellow. The walls are just yellowish, icky yellowish color. And we wipe out stuff just to clean the walls, and you just get this murky, yellowish stuff. I think there are smokers in there, and so a lot of it was just putting primer on and painting over it. That was fun. Painting all the floorboards. Well, I'll probably do another live stream while I'm in the house, just so I have a thing to talk. I just kind of wanted to show people some of the boring scenery in Nebraska as I'm driving through. So without further ado, here we go. Oh no, I need something better, but here it is. A lot of farmland, and one thing that people may not know is that I was looking and seeing what the waterways were like. Oh sure, Titus, when I'm doing the floors, that would be awesome. I'll be cleaning the floors right today, some of tomorrow, and then putting the underlayment on tomorrow, just so I could start on putting the floorboards on Wednesday. One of the so tomorrow will be more cleaning, but also right now the washer was in one of the bedrooms on the main floor. We're gonna put it all in the basement with the washer and the dryer. So I'll be working on that, and that'll be another crazy effort. So what I was talking about was the water quality. So the watersheds, the rivers, some of the ponds, and maybe some of the lakes. 6th worst in the nation. And you know, I thought middle of nowhere Nebraska, like in Columbus, would have pretty good water quality. But with the agribusiness, whatever you want to call it, 6th worst in the nation. All the nitrates in the water. And that kind of sucks. One of the cool things though, I did see a pheasant just land a while ago next to the place we're staying in Monroe, and I was going, man, that's some easy dinner. I'm not sure what the season is, but I just thought that was funny. You usually see a lot of dead stuff on the road. Deer every now and then, raccoons a lot. Coyotes don't typically get run over, but I do see them running around at night. As you can see, there's a lot more. There's just farms everywhere, railroads, you know, all of that. That probably attributes to the bad water quality. Although I am kind of happy. So the house that we bought, it's like a 4-minute drive to this park. It's called like West Pawnee Park, and that's a place where they stock fish like rainbow trout. And what else do they stock? They stocked a couple of different types of other things. They might have stocked maybe brown bullhead, but it's typically a trout lake. There's another place within the same county, in Platte County, that has walleye. Can't wait to fish there for walleye. And then there's kind of a lake, I think it's Lake Babcock, Lake North. A neighbor told my wife, saying that that's pretty bad water quality. I'll have to check it out. It has stocked sauger. Sauger is pretty much exactly the same as walleye. It just has some black spots on the fins. So, but as far as taste, they're pretty much identical. Anyways, this is more farmland on the left. I'm gonna switch over real quick, concentrate on the road. So I was in Menards. I guess that's kind of like a Home Depot out here in the Midwest. I'm driving a rental car who has Iowa license plates, and he thought I was from a certain county in Iowa, and they have the same county name in Nebraska, kind of close to Columbus, and so he was saying hi and saying if I was from that county. Anyways, he ended up telling a joke. He said something like, a doe comes out of the woods all exhausted and sweaty from heat or whatnot, and the doe goes, man, all that for $2? That was a little kind of a random joke there. People seem pretty friendly. I think I kind of wonder what their thoughts are. I did go to a super buffet restaurant to order out just for our relatives that come and help. And there are Chinese people here. I saw at least 2 Chinese people out on the register. I don't know if the servers and the cooks, I think they were Mexican. So the population of Asians themselves seem pretty small. I do get a lot of looks, but I'm also not your typical Asian, I guess. Yeah, Menards is pretty good. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to show people driving through Nebraska. It's pretty much, I've just stopped in Fremont and Menards. There's Menards in Columbus, but we got all the floorboards of a particular type. So we had to go out and get floorboards from different Menards in different places because we want them ready while I'm still here. And then once I get over to Somerville, back in towards Boston, I'm gonna be finishing up painting there for my owner neighbor. She did a primer on the bathroom, and she was just too tired and exhausted to do painting on the bathroom, so I painted it. I'm fine with working. I'm pretty fast at painting. Try to do a good job too. And also gonna, whoa, what happened? Really? Menards sells weed in Colorado? That's pretty cool. I don't know if they are gonna sell weed here. I did see a kratom spot in Columbus. I will have to, it's like a smoke shop. I will have to see about it. Yep, I will. I'll do a couple of live streams. I actually have faster internet service on my phone, my service, than I do on the Wi-Fi where we're staying in Monroe. Except I don't get phone service, data service in Monroe. Looks like I'm in North Bend, population 1,213. You can see pretty dinky town. I kind of love these dinky towns. I don't know. Maybe it's more my personality. Dinkiness, I guess. I'm probably about 40 more miles out to Columbus. Yeah, the paint is pretty easy. I guess I could do a short one. Look at that big. Alright. But yeah, it's you see semi trucks all the time, everywhere. I mean, basically, it feels like the middle of Nebraska is just a hub of material and processing, and they just ship it all over to wherever it needs to go. Sorry for the not so good reception. Let's see that there's a lot of stuff. Columbus, 31 miles. Okay, not too far off. Boring straightaway drive. You can see there's like feedlots, not now, but closer to Columbus, and a bunch of farmland. It'll be interesting to explore, although it kind of does suck. I feel like all this land, all this stuff that we can grow, and we grow kind of just stuff that's just high in empty calories, and you could be growing a lot more stuff and not have to resort to using so much pesticides and whatnot. They pay farmers not to grow in Pennsylvania, Kathy. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it's either corn here, probably, and also hay for all the livestock. Let me switch it over again. It's not the most scenic of drives. Yeah, that's what it feels. It's like a weird system. It's like all the stuff that they could grow that could feed a lot of people and make people healthier, they don't grow it. They get paid, they get subsidized to just grow one thing, and that one thing is pretty much poison if you think about it. All the pesticides that are on it, it's processed, and it's, yeah, I don't know. It's like I feel like the farmers, they grow what they're supposed to grow, they get paid to grow, and then all the stuff on the side, they probably have like a small little plot for their organic produce that they grow themselves to eat. So they grow stuff that's not for others to eat. They eat better than others from their own little personal plot. And we're gonna try to grow a lot of our stuff. We don't quite have a lot of land in this house. I think our plan is to make it over, live in it for a year or two, find another house to lease out, and, or not lease out. We'll lease out the house that we currently have, or sell it, and then we'll move into and get another mortgage for a second house, the main house we're gonna live in, that should have more land. Although I wouldn't mind finding a house and just a plot of land, and then building my own house, or our own house, I guess. A lot of it, I just get a little bit depressed. It's like I felt like big old farmland, it would have some differentiation, you know? Maybe over here they'll grow wheat, over here they'll grow corn, of course. Another place they might have more organic type of stuff or seasonal type of growth, but they don't. It's just all pretty much the same thing in every farm plot. And then you get into Columbus, you get Cargill, and you got BD, and very, you get Walmart. Basically, instead of having a lot of small shops, mom and pop stores, it's very, I mean, you got the payday lenders. It's very, I don't know, you go into any state that's kind of decent sized town. They got the same stuff. That'd be a lot different. I feel like if you go over towards northeast in New England, you'll get more of those small towns where they have these like free range type of small mini farms, organic farm type of stuff, more cottage-like houses, and a lot more personalized storefronts that aren't chains. Even if you go in Massachusetts, like middle Massachusetts, or even you go to Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard, all those stores, all those storefronts, they're just personally owned. Nothing there has like a chain. You won't see a McDonald's, you won't see a Burger King, you won't see any of that junk in Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. And it'd be hard to find some of that in the smaller towns over in New England, like in Vermont and Maine. New Hampshire is kind of like Massachusetts, but it starts getting more personalized, more community-owned type of stuff, and not so commercialized and chains. A lot of big farm equipment. The price here is pretty crazy. So this Super China buffet thing that one day I'll show you. It's like Americanized Chinese food. They've got pizza. They got a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh yeah, there are some sweet corn farmers here. Every farmer here, I hear, grows sweet corn. They sell it off on the side of the road or something in the summer on some extra money, I guess. So my wife and I are thinking of growing. We have probably space enough for 2 trees in our front yard. I think we're gonna make it a kind of like a autumn tree and more of a summer tree. So an apple tree, and hopefully it's like a mutsu type of tree, and then a peach tree. So we'll see if I mean, it's gonna be years before we're able to get anything out of those. But it'd be nice to have 2 trees where we could pick some fruit. And then the backyard, maybe even the side yard. Our neighbor doesn't seem to be doing anything with it. It would be nice to see if we can use some of it and say, hey, if we can use your yard that's really close to our side of the house, we'll give you some of our produce that we grow in the garden. I have a feeling they'll say, yeah, sure. I did dig through the soil a little bit. Soil seems pretty good. Nice, nutrient rich. I found a couple of night crawlers in there, so definitely it will be easy to find some night crawlers to use for fishing. So I'm excited about that. And we can use those night crawlers too for composting. Seed browns are usually shown on steaks. Yeah. Can't wait to get everything in and running. Once I fly back here for good, which will be end of April, I'll have to work on the electrical system, the wire. So you just have breakers right now, and having a fuse box and higher rated. I don't know. It's just crazy. I think we're gonna leave the upstairs as it is, and then the main floor and the basement to get all my computer stuff up and running, and everything else up to code. I'll have a month, so I'll be working on that. So it just feels funny that I do everything on my own. And my wife goes, you don't, like, I don't really have, she's telling me, you don't have any experience. It's like, everything I do that I've learned, I never had any experience. I learned everything on my own. That's how I've gotten to where I've gotten. I don't rely on others to do it. I just start doing it myself, learn how to do it. Of course I'm going to make some mistakes, but that's correctable. And same thing with electronics and computers and what have you. It's once you start learning it, it's really easy. And once you find a problem, really easy to troubleshoot, figure out, and solve. So I think she's worried. She's gonna see how I do things. I'm very meticulous. Pay a lot of attention to detail. I plan a lot. Thanks, Kathy. And time is most.
Make a U-turn.
No, I'm not taking a U-turn. Right. Sorry. I thought it turned Google Maps off. Apparently, it's still on. Eventually, they'll make it so you can't turn off any of Google's stuff. All the options and things like that, yeah. Oh, one of the things I wanted to talk about was, if you go to Quantum of Conscience, it's a YouTube channel. He's just there on a chair talking, one of those types of channels. But it's just what he says and what he thinks about something to listen to. Yeah, Zucks. All that, I mean, it's pretty, just gotta have time. The worst thing about the stuff that I'm doing now is kind of a time crunch, just my wife and kids want to move in. So I need to go ahead and get everything ready for them. And then I can finish on all the other stuff once I'm actually back. And anyways, the Quantum of Conscience, if you go and watch his latest video, do you guys ever remember the Weather Underground? There used to be a terrorist group, domestic terrorist group. They used to bomb federal buildings and kill police officers, security guards, and things like that. They're on the FBI's most wanted list. At least when I grew up, I remember that. Yeah. Well, what's interestingly enough, pretty much everyone that's in that Weather Underground terrorist group, they all became professors and from pretty prestigious universities. And how the hell does that happen? How do domestic terrorist groups that blow up federal buildings, pentagons, whatever, kill police officers? Some of them didn't go to prison. One of them maybe went to jail for a year. I think one went to prison for like 22 years and got out. Eventually ended up becoming a professor at a university. How do these people end up in those situations? I want to look into that again. I mean, can you think of all the terrorists? Who's the guy who did the Boston bombing? The kid, I forget his name. He has a, I can't remember his name, but can you imagine him like 2 years from now or something? He ends up becoming some professor at a university, and then it's like, what the hell? How does that happen? So definitely look into it. I want to look into it. Watch that video. Another thing to look into, I've been listening to this guy called Bob Cousins, Cousens. He has a YouTube channel called Gemstone University. I think it's a university you can actually join. You have to pay into, I think, but I don't. Maybe it's not very much. I don't know. Listen to this guy if you like. I mean, it's very interesting. I think I'm going to dive more deeper into it. Anyways, my hand is getting tired from holding up the phone. I'm getting close to Columbus anyway, and as you saw, there's really not much to Columbus. Anyways, I will probably start back another stream in an hour. I'm gonna take some lunch, get everything situated, and anyways, start cleaning up the house. Alright, so thank you for joining in, saying hi. I did read the chat. It's not easy to read the chat holding the phone in portrait mode, or landscape mode, sorry. No, it's easier to hold it in landscape mode. Portrait mode, sorry. Alright.